Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. And after last summer's Spider-Man Far From Home, so many people were asking just what the hell are we going to do in the next movie? Because, oh my God, that ending was so insane that it literally broke certain parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe fandom, specifically in regards to the Sony Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's kind of what we're calling it, the SMCU. It's not what I would call maybe the greatest name on the planet, but right now, it's all we got. It's all we have until Sony officially names it. But look how long it took DC to even remotely say the DCEU in a public setting. So we are where we are. But when it comes to Spider-Man 3, yesterday news broke that apparently it has been delayed. The Spider-Man 3 shoot was rumored to be delayed. This is coming in from MOBIWeb, and they say here, according to a new report that's going over the wide-ranging implications of Hollywood shutdown, it was revealed that Spider-Man 3 has also been put on hold for the time being. The plan had been to begin filming in July, which means Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios were undoubtedly in pre-production before things escalated to where they are now. There is no word currently on how long the delay is expected to last, but the situation has been evolving rapidly and has proved to be unpredictable. And they're not wrong. There is an insane amount of unpredictability in regards to not only Spider-Man 3, but the entirety of Hollywood going through 2020 and into 2021. The ripple effect of this pandemic is absolutely insane, and we will be feeling it a lot next year and then in a couple years after. I'm going to say, by my estimation, about 3 years is how long it will take for things to get maybe relatively back on track. And that's a long time, especially if you are a fan of movies. Like if you're watching this, you clearly are. But let's talk about what I think is really happening here. And it does go further than just Sony and what they're doing. So let's start off here by looking at Variety, which posted an article a couple days ago saying Morbius, Ghostbusters sequel, and more Sony movies push back to 2021. Saying Jason Reitman's Ghostbusters Afterlife has moved from July 10th, 2020 to March 5th, 2021. Jared Leto's Morbius has been pushed back from July 31st, 2020 to March 19th, 2021. Tom Holland's Uncharted went from March 5th, 2021 to October 2021. Peter Rabbit and the Runaway has moved from August to January, and the untitled Sony Marvel movie was also delayed from an original October 8th release date and is now undated. And that is big news because we didn't know what that movie was. We still have no idea what that movie was. But what we do know is that Sony is focusing their efforts, at least right now, on making sure that both Morbius and Venom 2 find their way to the big screen, because this is paramount to the future of Sony's Marvel Cinematic Universe. And you may want to argue with me on that front, and I'm sure a few of you are going to try to argue with me on that front. But this is Sony's plan. It's been Sony's plan since 2017 when they first released Homecoming. They wanted to put these universes together, or at least have them run parallel. But my real big question comes from the fact that Uncharted is still on track to come out, even though it's going to be about 6 months or so down the road next year. So the question becomes, why did Sony push back Spider-Man 3 but keep Uncharted on track? Uncharted has been a movie that has been in development hell for well over 10 years. I covered it recently in a video all about what's gone on with the directors. We're hearing now Ruben Fleischer is going to be the person who's going to be taking over with a rumored production start date in May. But now that we are in this global pandemic, we don't know when that's going to start. So why is Sony delaying Spider-Man 3 but keeping Uncharted going? Well, there's really only one answer for that, and it has everything to do with Disney. So this is the Phase 4 release schedule that we know of right now, but we know this was the original plan. Things have been moved a little bit. We don't quite know everything yet because there's been nothing public that's been said. But looking over here, a couple days, 2 weeks ago, the Black Widow movie was officially delayed until further notice. And we have no knowledge even at right now as to when the movie is going to be coming out. I still think it's going to be coming out in early July, taking the place of Free Guy, but I could be wrong. They could choose to push it back to the fall. anything they want to do, because it's the start of phase 4, and that ties in to Spider-Man 3. Now, not only that, but then right before Black Widow was delayed, we find out that Marvel also delayed all of the shows that are being made for Disney Plus: Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. In fact, this is what the Variety article says. Marvel Studios is pressing pause on its Disney Plus shows currently in production, which includes Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and WandaVision. 4 shows that are in pre-production will continue to work remotely. The Falcon and Winter Soldier is one of the first to delay productions earlier in the week due to the shoot being in Eastern Europe. Following the sweeping production halts, Disney Plus is now doing the same for its remaining Marvel shows. The news comes after they suspended production on their live-action films, including Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings. So, with all the Marvel things being pushed back, with all Phase 4 now currently in limbo of being released, Sony is not under any specific rush in order to get Spider-Man 3 done. You figured that they would. You figured that they would want to have it done. They'd want to have it ready to go, but this tells me that there are certain things that are going to be changing when this particular lineup does make its way to the silver screen sometime in the future. Because if you look at this release date right here, what's missing? Spider-Man 3. This, of course, is right before we had found out that there was that breakup between Sony and Marvel over Spider-Man, which is why it wasn't included into this particular chart. But now that it's there, it's going to be on the horizon. But if you look, it's going to be smack or right there at the very end of Phase 4. We see Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness for May 7th. Summer 2021, they have What If, but really that's going to be Spider-Man is coming in the summer 2021, although at this point that's probably going to be moved. Same with almost everything else on this particular list. So it is interesting to see what they're going to be doing with it. But again, I do think it goes a little bit further, and I think Sony is taking cues from Disney. Now, this is where we put on a bit of a tinfoil hat. This is where I get into my own speculation. But a couple days ago, we found out that Bob Iger and Bob Chapek and a lot of other executives over at Disney were foregoing their salary or cutting or slashing their salary in order to help out during this virus crisis. According to this LA Times article, also, Disney is reeling from trying to raise $6 billion in debt offerings to continue running things and paying employees at least for the next 18 days. Today is April 1st. Now, this LA Times article says, buffeted by the coronavirus outbreak, the Walt Disney Company on Friday said it had raised nearly $6 billion in debt offering. The debt offering comes 1 week after Disney closed its domestic theme parks, suspended cruise ship sailings, and pulled a high-profile movie release. The company is shoring up its debt structure amid the cascading effect of the global pandemic, including heightened fears of a recession that could slow the Burbank entertainment giant's recovery. Now, there have been people out there that have been trying to argue, and I believe absolutely unsuccessfully, Jeremy Conrad and Grace Randolph, that Black Widow will be coming out on streaming, on VOD, as a way to earn some money for Disney during this situation. Well, the truth of the matter is, all the data suggests otherwise. Why would they not go for $1 billion in hopes of maybe making $100 million in streaming? If most movies coming out on home video don't ever really clear like 75 million in home video sales, and we don't know what their earnings would be digitally, obviously, we could probably argue that they don't make as much money that they could theatrically. That's going to be their bread and their butter. So when it comes to Spider-Man 3 and where it stands on Phase 4, and the fact that Phase 4 is now being shifted down the road a little bit, hoping to probably get things back on track, we can still see here that Sony is following Marvel's lead by delaying everything. Now, they are going to try to get the money that they can off of Morbius and Venom 2. Obviously, Morbius has been pushed back to March of next year. Venom 2 still on track, I believe, for an October release date. By then, I do think movie theaters will be open, so that makes a lot of sense. But both of those movies do take place after the events of Spider-Man Far From Home. And if we're not careful, if Sony's not careful, I should say, then they're probably going to end up, really screwing themselves if they release this stuff too soon without a Spider-Man movie on the horizon, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if Venom 2 does get moved into 2021 and we find out that Spider-Man 3 doesn't come out until the summer of 2022 and officially becomes a Phase 5 movie. That's if Phase 4 doesn't shift all the way through 2022 and Phase 5 kicks off in 2023. So there's a lot that's going to be going on with this right here. So far, this is all just my speculation. It's all just my theory, all just my opinion. We don't know where anything is at. We don't know what these companies are doing publicly yet, but all the data suggests that Sony is following Kevin Feige and Marvel, and they want to make sure that they can still release their movies in that same timeline that they need to be in order for maximum profit, because Sony's finances aren't that good. They're not that good. Disney is in a bit of a bad situation financially right now because of the global shutdown, and they're going to hold off until they know that they can put all this content out to a media-starved world who loves this stuff, who are loyal viewers of this stuff, in order to reap the maximum amount of financial benefits. But as always, I do look forward to your opinions on this, your thoughts, your theories. Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Do me a favor, head on over to facebook.com/groups/3bucktheater. Join the conversation over there. I do Hollywood After Dark live streams. You guys can check that out on twitch.tv/3bucktheater. And I will talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out.